Hi.
Hi there.
Hi guys, good to see both of you. Terrific performance by both of you. Really enjoyed watching it. My first question is, when did both of you hear about this case? Was it when you were offered this, or did you know about this? Andrew, you
Yes,
can go first.
I was introduced to it through to the case through getting the two scripts through. I didn't know anything about it
Okay.
before starting.
Right, right. What about you, Andrew?
I read the book when it came out
Okay.
over
Okay.
10 years ago now, I think. I loved it and I was just kind of riveted, and then 10 years go by, and then Dustin Lance Black has adapted it in such a beautiful way, and it was kind of an easy yes.
Right. Andrew, in fact, your character, is this a fiction character? Is there in the book, is this a fiction character that was added?
Yeah, it was a fictional. I think one of the things that Dustin Lance Black was finding it hard to crack in terms of the story was what's the point of view on this? Well, how do we access this event? And I think in the 10 years of him developing the story into a script, he figured out that the best way of doing it was to create this detective character, this Mormon detective that was going through his own crisis of faith as he was uncovering all of the history of his faith. And it was, I think it was a great device, and it meant that it gave us freedom to kind of create what that character was. Yeah, it was fun.
Right. To both of you, it's a serious subject. Do you think the sets, the atmosphere around you plays a big role in your performance as well? Daisy, you can go first.
I think it certainly does. Like it, and in the earlier episodes, like the Brenda that we see is one that's like, very joyous. And I think some of my favorite scenes to film were like the scene where we're introduced to the Lafferty family and she comes in, and the way it was filmed was very free. David, our director of the first block, he doesn't use marks, and he uses sort of rolling takes, and so it really felt like we were in a play together. And I also love being in a big ensemble cast because I love watching how different actors sort of approach scenes. But yeah, certainly as the sort of series went on and it definitely becomes more somber, the atmosphere on set was definitely a lot more sort of somber and quiet, and it definitely helps to sort of create that when you're, depending on the scene you're doing.
Right. What about you, Andrew? Do you think the atmosphere around plays a big role in your performance? Does it help?
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. But also I think we wanted to have as much fun in between as possible, just so that we had the energy to go back into the deep end. I think we needed to dance and shrug it off in order to be able to go back into the front lines of the story. So yeah, it was a mixture of both. But yeah, it was the directors really set up an environment where we could play and improvise and be spontaneous and find it as we went, which is a rare thing, I think, especially on a television set, as far as I understand.
Right. And lastly, it's a heavy story. What do you do so that you don't take it back home?
Yeah, Repsol Center. There's a lot of things. There's a great place in Calgary called the Repsol Center that I would go to a lot, and I would steam. And so sports center, and it just has everything. It's a steam room and a cold plunge, and has lots of basketball courts. And I used to play basketball and badminton, and sometimes paddle tennis. And there's a diving. We went diving one day off the diving board.
We did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that stuff. I want to talk more about the Repsol Center if that's okay. No, but there was a lot of Repsol.
For you.
Great.
For you. I just had a bath.
Great, guys. Thank you so much. And this chemistry also shows in the series. Thank you. You all were thoroughly entertaining.